Hey there, I'm Alan Matthews from Classical Guitar Shed, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to memorize music. Why would you memorize music? How do you memorize music? What are the most effective ways to memorize music? We will dig into that. So to begin with, why would you memorize music? It's right there in front of you. We're playing classical guitar, we've got notes. Why would you memorize music? There are many reasons. First off, you can play at any time and you don't need your music in front of you. That's a big part. There's also work that we can do once we have it memorized that we can't do otherwise. If we're glued to the page, then there's a lot that we miss. And so it's a completely different experience of playing music from memory. It's different from working on it. It's different performing it. And I've got my own pet ideas about the way that we use our eyes and how that activates different parts of our brain or different aspects of our brain, depending on if we're very pin spot focused versus our eyes are kind of a little bit unfocused. But I don't have any science to share with you on that right now. But I've got pet theories. So it's a different experience, unquestionably, to play from memory. And you also learn faster. And that's a huge thing. Even if you don't actually memorize the music, if you try to memorize the music, and if you go through the motions of memorizing it, then you just tell your brain that this is important and it picks it up faster. So you'll learn you'll learn your music faster if you even pretend to be memorizing it. The other thing is that you can form a deeper relationship. You can notice different things in your music. You can just have a much deeper experience with your music if you memorize the music. So the thing with memory is that to memorize something is really easy. Do this. Here's an experiment. Think about the numbers 5384. 5384. Memorize those. 5384, 5384, 5384. You've memorized them right now, right? Well, the question is, could I call you up next week and ask for those numbers, and would you know them? And the answer is probably no, you would not. You would remember, oh yeah, there were some numbers, but I don't even remember them. You might not even remember them now. Do you remember them? 5384. Maybe, maybe not. But so memory is easy. It's easy to put stuff in there. The hard part is recall, and that's what we actually are doing. It's what we're practicing is recalling the music, not memorizing it. Memorizing it is that first sticking it in there. Recalling it is what we do when we actually can play it. And so then that's the part that needs exercise, is we have to practice recalling. If we're not practicing recalling, then we're not actually practicing our memorization. We're not practice memorizing. So how do you actually then go about this? So I recommend the 7-step process. I've got it, there are annoying pop-ups all over my website saying, learn the 7-step process to learn any piece quickly and easily. And that is a great place to start with your memorization. In a nutshell, take small pieces, and this is a great thing with memory as well. You can only memorize a little bitty bit at a time. So take small bites, just a little bitty bit. And if you think about one measure a day, over the course of a year, that's massive amounts of music. That's so many pieces. It's a full repertoire. If you memorize one measure of music a day for every day that you practiced, it'd be hundreds of measures. So, which are dozens of tunes. So, depending on your tunes. So, take small bites and break it into things. And then another thing that you can do is look at as many perspectives as possible. So, just as if we met in a number of different social situations, you become more familiar with me. If you saw me at a dinner party, and then you saw me out on the town, and then you saw me hiking in the woods, and then you saw me at the grocery store, you would have all these different experiences of me, and we would be friends, right? We would kind of know each other better. And that's what we're doing with our pieces, is if we can look at them from multiple perspectives, then we get more and more familiar with them, and we have more ways to memorize them, more little folders that things go into in our minds. So then with the 7-step process, that would be the rhythm. Do I know the rhythm of this measure, right? So you could actually test the rhythm by itself. Look at the rhythm, look away. Can I play this rhythm? And then 5 minutes later, what was the rhythm of that measure? Also, and this is just a side note, if you learn your pieces from back to front, then you'll oftentimes be more comfortable as you play them. So you learn the last measure, then the next to last measure, then the third back, and you memorize them that way. It's a fun thing to do. But that's just a side note. But the main thing is that you just play the rhythm, and then you have just the right hand, and then just the left hand. And so you can memorize all these different ways and then putting them together. And bit by bit, how do the dynamics work? So does it get loud or soft? Is there a particular note that needs to pop out? Is there a particular note that does not need to pop out, to be really quiet? Because maybe it's in the accompaniment and not the melody or something like that. So all of these different things what do I know about, where was I when I memorized this piece, right? You get all of these different perspectives on the music. There's also the theoretical side of it as well. Is this a C chord? What is this? Is it an A minor and then it goes to A minor over G and then D minor? Like what goes on with the music theory? And that's a particular part of memorization as well. It's theoretical memory. So even if you don't know that, you can say, that's when it does that A chord, or that's when it goes to the funny looking chord. And I don't know what chord it is, but it's that funny shape in my hand, and that's when I do the funny shape. So you can notice that there's that, and that's part of the theoretical memory. What does it look like? What does it feel like? So as many different aspects of the music and perspectives on the music as you possibly can, and the ticket is to recall them each. So if I have a particular measure, can I play, as I'm memorizing it, just the right hand alone? So I work on just the right hand, looking at the music. Just that much. Can I do that? Can I look away from the music and do that? And then can I do it, look back at the music, make sure I'm good, do it again, look away from the music, whatever it happens to be. And that recall is looking away from the music and testing yourself. That's the important part. And then ideally, again in your practice a little bit later, and then consecutively or consistently larger intervals of time between them, so that you have to sweat a little bit to figure it out. Like, what was that? Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, right. Then it went down to that other chord, whatever it was, right? So that you have to work at it just a little bit. So this is memorization. The ticket is to practice recall. Memorizing is easy. Recall can be hard, but recall is what we need to be practicing. It's also worth noting that this gets easier with time. As you go on and you memorize more and more pieces, it gets easier and easier and easier to where you can end up learning 4 measures a day, and then a half page a day, and then a full page of music a day. And it gets easier and easier because you have more experience with it. So yes, it's hard at first, and yes, it's who knows what I just played, and I look away and then I just draw a blank. Just keep doing it. It gets easier, and it's great for your head, and it's great for your music, and it's good fun. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson on memorization. There ain't nothing to it but to do it. Please subscribe to this channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.